I had this question come in the other day, and someone was asked, how do you know when he is over you? Okay, so let's phrase it a little bit. How do you know when the narcissist is over you? And at first, when I read the question, like the first thing that went through my mind is I was like, that's the wrong question because it doesn't even like matter. And that's the hard thing. There's oftentimes people are looking at how is this going to hurt him? How is it going to affect him? How is he going to respond to this? What's going to happen? Like, how do I know that he's actually done with me? How do I know that he's actually over me and he's not going to come back? We talked about this just a day ago with like the Hoover aspect. But I need you to understand a lot of times people will be so focused on how do we know about him that you'll stop focusing on you. How many of you have struggled to focus on you inside the toxic relationship? Type in focus into the chat. Just say, hey, I've struggled with my focus inside of this. I've struggled to focus on me. Type in focus in the chat because I need you to see that other people are struggling with this as well. Because when you're in a toxic narcissistic relationship, all you focus on is the narcissist. You don't focus on you. Like, you don't have time to focus on you because everything's wrapped up in him. Everything's focused on him, what he wants, what he needs, what he's saying, what he's doing, his inconveniences, his frustrations, all focused on him. And you don't get a chance to actually focus on you, to develop you, to work on you, to become who you're called to be. You don't get a chance to do that. And so oftentimes when you're out of the relationship, you still don't get a chance to do that because you're not used to that. And then you're left wondering about him. How's it affecting him? Is he actually in love with the next supply? Is he actually moving on to the next person? Or is he still obsessed with you? Is he going to come back? What do you do? And all these thoughts keep coming into your mind because you're so worried and consumed about him because he's trained you. I want you to consider if you're out of the relationship and you're still thinking about him, 9 times out of 10, it's because he's trained you like a dog to think about him no matter what. Like he's beat it into you over and over and over again. Because when you went out with friends, he made that seem awful. When you had that vacation with your family, he made that seem awful. Why? Because it had to be about him. And so slowly over time, you were trained that it had to be about him. You were trained that your focus had to be about him. You were trained that you had to move through the house to make sure that he was accommodated, that you had to shift and adjust things in your life and in your schedule to make sure that he was accommodated. You had to shift and adjust your career to make sure that he got what he needed. You had to shift and adjust your finances to support him when he wasn't supporting. You have to shift and adjust everything in your life for this person. Then now you're stuck today like wondering, is he done with me yet? Like, is he actually gone? Has he worked through this? Is he over me? Is he going to stay with his next person or not? What about you? Like, we can get to a place where I answer all the questions about narcissism. Given enough time, given enough data, given enough experience, we can eventually get to a place where we answer all the questions. But I need you to understand something. If you and I sat down and we answered all the questions of narcissism, you would not be healed. You wouldn't. Even if you had all the understanding, you still wouldn't be healed. Now, some of you are getting frustrated when you hear me say this because you're like, well, that's how I heal, is I have to understand, I get it. Still haven't met people that have actually healed just by knowledge alone. We see people that have been out of the relationship for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. And some people that could write books on this, some people that are in psychology, some people that are therapists and that are stuck in toxic relationships. And the knowledge just isn't enough. So you can keep consuming content. You can keep consuming my content, other people's content. Like, it doesn't matter whose content. And it'll still be like drinking from a fire hydrant. But you're just consuming more and more of it, getting more nuance, getting more different ideas, getting different videos. And guess what? It's still not going to make you heal. It might give you awareness. It might give you a knowledge to make some decisions. But we don't see it heal people long term. Why? Because something has to shift inside of you. There has to be a difference in how you're actually viewing the world. There has to be a transformation in your mindset, in your thought process. There has to be a rewiring of the beliefs that you have, because so many times you've been believing a lie from the toxic person. You've been impressed, it's been impressed upon you. And so you've got to the place you've taken it on as your own and you believe that lie. It becomes a part of you and you think this is what life actually is, when in reality it's not. But I haven't considered that you're at this place today where you've been so focused on the toxic person, it doesn't let you focus on you. doesn't let you develop you, doesn't let you grow, and you're too worried about how is this affecting him? How is this affecting you? Like right here, right now. How has this racked you emotionally? How has this messed you up, like mentally? How has this affected you? How has this affected your kids? How has this affected your relationship with your kids? How has this affected how you've shown up in your business, in your job? How has it distracted you? How has it confused you? How has it left you in the fog? How has it left you not doing the things you know you need to do? And as a result, you start to have this shame and this guilt because you haven't done anything, because you've stayed stuck so long, because you're still stuck after the relationship. How has this affected you? Like if I could just get you to stop for just a moment, just a day, just a week, and invest everything into you that you're spending on him, imagine what your life would do. It would radically transform. These are things we do inside the programs and the challenges that we run is we start to help you see answers to the question, yes, but then we start to flip it on you so that you actually see how you are in charge of your destiny, how you are in charge to grow, develop yourself, how you are in charge to transform your life. Not worrying about him, not abdicating your power to another person, not confronting him, not dealing with him, but saying, you are the only person here that can transform. The question is if you're actually going to do it. If you're interested in that and you're ready to move forward, go to rawmotivations.com/breakthrough to be able to hear a video that I've put together that I want you to hear first and foremost before we have a conversation. Because I need to know that you're actually invested in this, in your healing. I'm not looking for people that are just wanting to join just to get a quick fix, that just want to get a couple questions answered. I'm looking for people that actually want to transform from the ground up, to rebuild their life to the person that they know they can be. Strong, confident, powerful, a beacon of light to the kids, to the family, to people around you. And to no longer let the narcissist control you. If you're interested in this, go to rawmotivations.com/breakthrough.